Hello classmate. Today we are going to report about the theories and models of policymaking. Institutional model. Public policy have their own origin in government institution that formulates and implement them. Government lend legitimacy to the policies. Policies assume universalistic character because of the government origin. For example, government policies are applicable to everyone in the society. So everyone in the society, institutional arrangements have their impact on public policy. Therefore, structural changes in government are taken to bring policy changes. So therefore, this model, the overall character of public policy is provided by the institution involved. So the limitation of this model, it recognized only formal aspects and undermines the role of informal groups such as NGOs, civil societies, and etc. Group theory. A certain society is composed of numbers of groups, and each group tries to maximize their benefit by putting pressure on the government to formulate policies in their group favor. Actual policy making in the government tends to tilt towards the group that are gaining influence. Elite theory. People as a whole do not care much about government policies nor have the adequate knowledge about what goes on in the government. People are led and manipulated by elites. Then when it comes to public policy, the policies that are made are not really worth the masses one. But was the elite or those who are in power or who are governing who benefited the policy the most?
Now let's move on to the rational model. A rational model is also known as a root model. A policy is rational when it is most efficient. These models assumes that the government has infinite capacity to access, collect, compute, and process information and data so that the government can forecast with the best solutions. So, mauni ginagamit pag maghimo ang government o policy, dapat siya rational. And they create policies to address specific problems and find solution to it through the implementation of policies. Nga, ang rational, kanina model kay ginagamit ni siya kung magbuhat o policy ang gobyerno nga ilahan diri nila ginakuan kung unsay best na buhaton o kanang epektibo ba ni siya nga makaayo sa katawhan. Incremental model, also called as a branch model, given by Charles Lindblom. Lindblom was critical about rational models' concept of one best way, as it included constraints of time, cost, intelligence, and politics. So according to him, it is important that instead of creating altogether a different policy, the already existing policy may be implemented with marginal modifications or increments. So when it comes to incremental, it is said there that the existing policy should be modified instead of creating whole new policy. For example, COVID protocols, nag-exist naman na siya na policy, so ang buhaton na lang nato ana murag ipa-improve ba, murag improvise or i-modified na lang nato og unsay mas best pa jud nga kanang maayong buhaton para sa kayuhan sa tanan. Mixed cunning approach, given by Amitai Etjoni. He found that both a rational model and incremental model have their limitations. A rational model is idealistic and an incremental model is not successful for failed or failing policies. Hence, he came out with this model which combines the concept of both rational and incremental model. In mixed cunning approach, the entire subject or in questions is first scanned broadly and not in great detail. it concentrating only on those aspects that call for more detailed in-depth scrutiny. Dire is gi-combine ang duha para mas effective ang policy.
Normative optimum model. It is given by Yehiel Jordan. It combines core elements of rational model such as measurement of costs and benefits with extra rational factors. He also puts forward an 18-step complex model divided into 3 stages, which is the meta-policy-making stage, policy-making stage, and the last one is the post-policy-making stage. Meta-policy approach is a system and context approach. Its scope is the macro scale and its problem is interpretation is usually of a structural nature. It aims at explaining the contextual factors of policy process. While the policy-making stage, it is the process related to the policy-making, touches the core function of democratic policies, namely, the elaboration and discussion of policy solution to societal problems. It all plays a central role in the lives of every public person. Public policy involves action taken by officials and public institutions to meet the challenges of the real world. Game theory. Game theory is used as a method for the study of the decision making. Here, decision units or participants in a game are so situated that there may be many possible outcomes of their actions with different values to them. Decision makers are therefore involved in situations of interdependence. System models. It is given by David Easton. It is also called as a black box model. David Easton regarded policy-making process as a black box model, system which converts the demands of the society into policy. So as we can see, demands supports political system and policies. So binibase nila yung ginagawa nilang policy sa demands and needs ng community. So if ever kung ano yung needs lang and the demand of the community, yun lang yung pinipresent nila sa political system and yun lang yung ginagawa ng policies. So nakabase siya sa demand and needs ng community.
So this is my topic, Political Public Policy Model, given by Lawrence Lin and Peter De Leons. According to them, public policy is not necessarily an exercise of techniques, technology, or knowledge. So pasabot nga dili na daw necessary or dili na kailangan nga i-exercise ang techniques, technology, or knowledge. So understood mo yun yung thoughts. So next is, rather it is a byproduct of political processes which include bargaining, negotiation, compromises, and influences from both formal, informal, and official to non-official agencies. So pasabot nga appeal in dili sa political process include nila or appeal sa ilaha ang bargaining, negotiation, compromises, influences, and so on. So next topic, mixed approach. So given by Howard Gunn, mixed because it is both application of techniques and political process. So pasabot na gitawag siyang mixed approach because both application of techniques and political process. So they give a 9-step approach to policy process. Number 1, deciding to decide. Number 2, deciding how to decide. Number 3, issue definition. Number 4, forecasting. Number 5, setting objectives and priorities. Number 6, options analysis. Number 7, policies implementation. monitoring and control. Number 8, evaluation and review. Number 9, policy implementation and succession or termination. So, muna siya ang 9-step approach to policy process. Thank you.